Hello, I'm the editor here, and so I'm quickly here to just refute a claim that Vari made, and that claim was the fact that he had said that the shooter was a Republican. No. Well, more like not that he was a Republican, more for the fact that he was MAGA. That's what Vari had said. And yes, I am the editor, not just the motherfucker in glasses. Check any of the other previous videos that I appear in, even the one where I actually did my own tier list video. Please check that out. But anyways, one of the main things is the fact that one, the shooter was most likely we don't know. That's the best answer that I can give you over looking at some sources. The thing is, you can interpret it as left-leaning, but you can interpret this as right-leaning, with the fact that he grew up in a pretty conservative household. The thing is, we do not know, because that type of knowledge has not been made to the public. Though it seems that one, at least with the prosecution, has inklings to believe that Robinson had some left-leaning values, mainly for the fact that they could have been a bit more, brought up on the spur, mainly for the fact that Tyler Robertson's partner / girlfriend was transgender. So obviously someone, that is a social outcast. So usually support for trans people tends to lean left. So a lot of people make that type of connection and then, and then boom, people will just say that. Now, the main thing at the end of the day is I don't care about what his political affiliation is, me or Vari. At the end of the day is that whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, a liberal, a leftist, a communist, an anarchist, a socialist, a fucking, a libertarian, a Republican, a conservative, I don't give a fuck, okay? A fascist, I really don't care. Well, maybe a fascist, but that's only because, ew, gross. At the end of the day, that Tyler Robinson was a fucking psychopath, okay? And any school shooter ever is a psychopath, okay? I don't care what the fuck his political affiliation was, okay? It's a bit unfortunate that Charlie Kirk died, but the thing is, man, I don't care that he's dead though. I will say that. Yeah, fuck Charlie Kirk regardless. I'm not gonna lie. We're smoking on that Kirk pack all 2025, bro. I'm telling you. I will say this though, and mind you, it's more of the fact that his death was more ironic more than anything else, because he was just talking about shooters. And his entire agenda did nothing to help him when, maybe you would want, a psychopath like Robinson to not shoot you. Yeah, his own agenda got him shot in the end. So I'm just gonna say, it's kind of like when a bird flew, when Icarus flew too close to the sun, his wings burned. Hey, it was good, y'all. So today we doing something a little bit different. Actually, no, this is quite similar to what I normally do. But today we're doing the Fallout faction tier list, right? Now you might be thinking, sorry, not tier list. We're doing the political compass version. Now, I wanted to do it on an actual compass, but then I decided that's gonna take too long, so I'm just gonna do it through tier list maker. And so as you can see here, let me quickly switch over. So we have the 4 primary cardinal directions on the political compass, right? You have the authoritarian left, authoritarian right, lib left, and then I have this tier right here. Not sure, don't know. Hold on, let me just quickly change the colors. And then, but anyways, so if you're not familiar with the political compass, then let me quickly change something really quick. But I will quickly just show it if you're not familiar with it. So if you're not familiar with the political compass, it's just a chart that plots. Basically, it's a tool that people use. Some people use it and view it as more of a meme. Some people actually like it. I kind of think it's a very handy tool. It allows you to basically put, in numbers, where someone is politically on economic and authoritarian axis. So for example, if you're not familiar with how this works, you have the economic scale on the left and then you have the social scale, right? Now, this also means, and not only social scale, this also means governmental scale as well. I really wish it wasn't like that, because usually it should be social economic, but you will see why I think it's better to have it this way than it would be other ways. But primarily, if you're on the left, that means usually you like, economically, you like taxes, you like things like, public programs, and other things like that. Redistribution of wealth. If you're more right-leaning, at least economically, you care about keeping the money that you make, less taxes, all right, and overall just what's it called? Like you make money and you keep money, right? Right, private markets between private individuals, people have private property, right? Those type of things, right? While on the left, it's a bit different, where it's more like you want everyone's needs to be met by the government. Usually, depends on where you're at, right? If you're more authoritarian, you're more pro-government, or you want a stronger government overall. But as you go up the authoritarian axis, you will see a more not conversion, a concentration of power. That's what it is, a concentration of power. And as you go down on the scale, you will see more people in power. So think about, like, for example, if you go down libertarian, it'll be like a large group of people, or nobody should control what goes on, right? Basically, right? While, for example, right, so for example, like in a libertarian society, like for example, if you're midway through the libertarians, there's a lot of democracy, right? So like, for example, like this, like at least half of like the authoritarian libertarian quadrants have democracy. But when you go past the democratic, or like the Overton window of democracy on the chart, then you start seeing either anarchism or minarchism for libertarian, or you will see either some kind of dictatorship or totalitarian regime. And probably some of the most so like max level authoritarianism is like 1984 ingsoc, like, Big Brother, while max level, libertarian is just, fucking anarchy, right? It's like the Fallout universe, you pay with bottle caps, that type of thing. So I just repurposed the tier list that I found. So let's start off with some of these might be a lot easier to do than others, just for the fact that some of them are just really, really, really easy, while some of them are just kind of a bit harder to do. So, and also I might be not familiar with some of these, either because the image I'm not familiar with. So yeah, so obviously don't take this with literal, like, oh, this is like what they genuinely are, but this is like what I'm mostly sure on. So as long as I'm familiar with the faction. So, and some of these are quite easy to get, and we could get rid out of the way. So to start off with the Legion, they're quite authoritarian. They're not keen on outsiders. They're sexist. They have slaves. They check all the boxes. They're virtually fascist, if you really understand. Like come on, like Caesar, like come on, bro. Caesar is literally just playing Julius Caesar, who in turn was a fascist, or is one of the first fascists that exists, right? Or dictator, right? So obviously, for example, like House, some people would say he's authoritarian right, some people say he's libertarian right. I would say he's in the middle of these two quadrants. And I would say though is that he does want control, but the thing is he wants control of like the New Vegas Strip, while the control that Caesar wants is a lot more authoritarian. House is just more like, yeah, you'll have freedom, but the thing is, my word is law. Under the Legion, it's like, if you're a woman, you're basically fucked. But I think for the most part, is that House I consider him an authoritarian figure, especially for the fact that he's a Securitrons. Like, he wanted to kick the NCR out. He wanted to kick everyone out of the New Vegas Strip, and honestly, the entirety of the Mojave Wasteland, where he can kind of rule it over, have his own dominion of sorts, right? So now let's do the the Yes Man ending. I consider this, I would say that since it's more independent, I would consider this a libertarian right thing, because it emphasizes more personal agency than there is going to be, like, individual taxes. Or there's not like, there aren't going to be taxes, there aren't going to be anything like the courier is going to impose on people, right? The only thing that, sorry, yeah, my music is mad loud and it's like slightly clouding my mind. But the main thing is with Yes Man is that, one, it's not really super specific how that ending really is, especially for the fact that Yes Man's ending is probably like one of the most easily malleable endings. You can have it go really well or really bad. Like, yeah, you can go bad for the NCR, but it's like they kind of make the NCR to be the kind of good ending, which I don't think the NCR ending is canon, but for example, I would say that the NCR is libertarian left. I don't consider them super authoritarian, mainly for the fact that, and some people would say, wouldn't they be in the authoritarian right category? Not exactly, because they care about democracy. And I'm not saying that authoritarian right isn't democratic, but the thing is, actually, I think I would put authoritarian left, and that would come as a surprise, I think, because they can be quite exclusionary to non-NCR, though they have been willing to work with NCR in the past, which can be a little bit confusing at times, right? For example, so I would say that the NCR is really hard, but I don't consider them authoritarian compared to other ones. They are exclusionary, but I think that's just kind of something that it's just the one thing about them. But they are willing to work with non-NCR to, I think, get things done at the end of the day, right? For example, the Enclave is something that's more like, it's like, we don't like you if you're not a part of us. We will kill you if you're not a part of us. And if you get in our way, we will fucking kill you, right? We will do everything it takes to get rid of you if we consider you beneath us, right? Like, now they don't just shoot at random wastelanders, especially, but they have been known to just kill random people if they just feel like doing it. So I'd put them in the authoritarian right category, and I actually would put him more authoritarian. These guys more authoritarian, but I wouldn't consider him Kaiser. At least it's like the Enclave might just leave you alone. They might just leave you alone. The Legion ain't leaving you alone. I would say that the Atom Cats, they're just chilling, man. They don't like, they're not much of a faction where it's like, they're just kind of people that are just kind of like, it's like, I guess you could put them lib left. You could possibly put them libertarian left. I guess, yeah, because they kind of have to share resources and stuff. I guess. I guess you could put them lib left, but they still, yeah, I guess. The Brotherhood is still, now it depends on which chapter, because certain chapters are a bit more where I feel like sometimes they kind of move between these three. They kind of move between these three throughout this franchise. If we say like Fallout 76, they're a lot more libertarian because they don't have, where they're kind of just more like, we want to do our thing, get in, get out type of mentality. Right? They kind of just wanted to get in and get out, if you understand like Fallout 76's Brotherhood. But if we're talking about like Fallout 4's Brotherhood, I would say they're a bit more authoritarian, but they're not as authoritarian like than some of the other chapters, I feel. Right? The thing is though, they are exclusionary outsiders a bit, but they don't like ghouls or super mutants. Though, I mean, for the most part, it's more like, which is weird, right? They don't like ghouls, super mutants, synths, or anything they consider just like trash. Kind of similar to the Enclave, but a lot more toned down. I guess for this though, I feel like if we think about the most common form of the Brotherhood, it's like, I would put them, I think, in the authoritarian right category, but the thing is, it's more for the fact that it's like, they kind of, I think I'll put them libertarian right. Some people would disagree with me for the fact that they're exclusionary, but I think for the fact that it's like, it depends. If it's Fallout 4, I'd put them here, but I think overall they're more libertarian, where it's just more like, yo, leave us the fuck alone. We want to do our thing, get in and get out. So, gun runners, I think they're just liberal. They just kind of want to sell you guns. Like, buy our guns, buy our weapons. There's nothing else to like the gun runners besides just buy our weapons, right? I would put Dima as lib left. These guys are quite obviously libertarian left. They'll help anyone that walks in. Like, you literally can walk in that bitch and tell them you're a member of the Institute, and Dima will still let you in. And you could still get any ending that you want. So as long as you don't betray Dima or like Acadia at all. So I would put them libertarian left. Some people might not like that, but I think for the most part, I think that's fair to say. I don't know why Sierra Madre is considered a faction in this game, but okay. But let's do the kings. Honestly, bro, these guys are probably just like, they kind of just want to do their own thing. But I don't consider, I guess I would put them libertarian left though, because they are actually trying to help the community. But I don't consider them super authoritarian for the most part. Like, they want to help out free side because that's their people. But they're not like, you know, they want to do their thing, but they still want to help out the community any way they can, right? Because they care. All right, the Minutemen. I would say that I would put them, I think, in authoritarian left. But the thing is, I think it's a good kind of authoritarian left, because they're more about power to the people. They want to help everyone. They want to help others. They want to help everyone that they can. But the main thing is they're not. But the main thing is that they would want to do it in a democratic sense. I would say that they're kind of like the best way to explain it is that, like, they're kind of like Bernie Sanders. I feel like of the Fallout faction. Like, Preston Garvey is like the goody two shoes, like, in my opinion. You know what I mean? They are like a great faction. If you feel like this is the faction that you want to rebuild society under, right? But I don't think I would put them in lib left though. I guess I might. I'll just put them lib left. Are these the boomers? Wait, no, I think those are the boomers. All right, now let's do the tunnel snakes. Okay, these guys I think are just okay, these guys I think will just be in the libertarian left. I mean, lib right. God damn it. These guys, I mean, the railroad, I think it's quite reasonable to understand that why they're liberal left. But the only issue about the railroad is that they're isolationist as absolute fuck. Where it's like they have one goal and they only want to help one section of people, right? That is the main flaw of the railroad, right? Where they will willingly do anything it takes to help a synth, right? And be rid of the institute, right? But the thing is, that's all they will do. They're not interested in the rest of the Commonwealth. They're cared about synths from the institute, and they want to help them out any way they can, right? And it's a criticism of one of the top ranking guys in the railroad, Deacon. He is mad at he's always constantly annoyed at Des for them not doing anything, just helping anything, anywhere, anyone in what's it called, in the Commonwealth, right? In the Boston wasteland, right? So yeah. All right, good cons. They kind of just want to be left alone, and they want you to buy their drugs. So, I mean, libertarian right, and they're dirty people. Yo, dead serious. I'm actually getting mad confused about some of these fucking images. Holy shit. Republican Dave. Okay, I think if you understand it, he's authoritarian right. He rigs elections. No one else is supposed to be in power besides Dave. And if you rig the election to where the other candidate wins, he literally goes off on his own, and then he ends up getting murked in Old Olney, if you didn't know. So yeah, he dead serious just wants to be in power. He, like, bro, he names it after himself. If that's not authoritarian, I genuinely don't know what the fuck is. So yeah, the Institute. Because they're so, the Institute is so weird, right? Because they're kind of like, yeah, we want to do our own thing, but we really don't want to help people or do anything that to change the Commonwealth unless we need to test on the, the populace, right? And we need to take people for testing. So, such a hard one. But like in the Institute, it's more like, but the thing is, they will, what's it called? Spread resources within themselves. But I think that these guys would just be like, these guys are like an applied form of liberalism. I want to see if I could find that form of liberalism. Show me, please, please, please. So there's a specific form of liberalism called national liberalism, right? And it's the idea, it's basically like what you think it is, right? So it's like you have, you have elections, you have taxes, you have social programs, you have all this good stuff. But the idea is that it's that, but applied to your own country, and you should prioritize your own country and avoid others. Not absolutely, but yeah, for the most part. It's about like avoiding other people. Alright, where they kind of just want to be left alone. Alright, so, alright, let's do, okay, the gunners. They kind of just have a job, and either you get in their way, either they'll, yeah, they kind of just want to do one thing. Is that the White Glove Society? What image is this? I just want to know what that is, but I'm assuming. But let's see. Oh, I just need to search up. Followers. Oh, okay, that is her. Oh. They just want to help people. Their entire thing is helping people and will do everything they need. And they would prefer some kind of decentralized way of doing this, where it's not like they care about who's in power. They just want to do, they have one job, they want to do one thing. It's help people, and they will help anyone that wants. And if someone wants to learn how to help people, they will like expend their resources accordingly to do that, if you get what I mean. So I would put them in the libertarian left corner for that reason. Some people say, wouldn't they be authoritarian left? Not exactly. Because they are more like, they welcome anyone with open arms. Alright guys, so I ended up having to take a dump mid-recording, and I also had to, sorry, take some, what's it called? So I had to quickly research some of these other factions, because either the image confused the hell out of me. So that's why I just have, and like, okay, so, so the boomers. Ooh, I have a feeling I fucked up when, they're kind of just like, leave us alone or we will kill you. But they're not going to go out of their way to kill you. But once you get them to chill the fuck out, but they are willing to work with you once you get them to chill the fuck out though. So they're not absolutely assholes. They're just really, really isolationist and cautionary. But I don't consider them authoritarian because they don't care about other people. They kind of cared about themselves and it's the well-being of themselves. Which in a wasteland, it's like, kill everyone before they can kind of kill you. It's a fairly decent mentality to have. Even if it's not the most morally best mentality to have. But it is a fair enough mentality for a guy to have. I can't blame them. Now, so I will just say that I will put the Nuka World factions in the authoritarian left category. And you might be thinking, why are they authoritarian left? Because they all want more power and they distribute resources. Actually, no, but no. I'm an idiot. I don't know. I would be an idiot to think that. I also, assuming they mean Sierra Madre, they just mean, what's it called? Like, when they mean like Sierra Madre, I'm assuming they just mean Elijah. Because Dean doesn't really make much sense, just for the fact that he kind of just wants what's inside the Sierra Madre casino, which he just wants the treasure. I mean, Christine kind of just wants to fucking live. And Dog and God kind of just, they don't do shit. But for the time, but I will say this is that, and so if we want, now I don't know why these guys fucking, what's it called, put all the fucking casino factions into one, but this is what we will do. Okay, Omerta's logo. This is what we can do. Whoops. Oh, I'm an idiot. So I will add these guys, and then I will put, what's it called? White love, society. And then we can also do, what's it called? What the hell is the... So, if we were to do all of these, so let's start off with the the omertas. They want power, and they're willing to do what it takes, and so they will literally attack the New Vegas Strip if you do nothing about it. The white gloves, they kind of keep to themselves, but they don't want more power. They kind of just like where they're at, but they kind of want to just be left the fuck alone. So I think I could put them in the live right category. For the most part. And then when it comes to the tops, a lot of the Fallout factions could really just be put in the authoritarian right quadrant. I know. And then I saw that. And then this, I had to learn which one this was, the dead horses. I would say that they're live left because they kind of just, they're not bad people. They kind of just like, we all kind of just want to live together as a community, and they don't really want to do anything else. It's not like they want to do anything else. They kind of just want to do one thing, and that one thing is like their community. If you know what I'm saying. Now, you might be thinking, why did I put, like, for example, like, why did I put the Get Yard here? It's because they want power. They want more, which I think makes them authoritarian. Authoritarian. Remember, authoritarian left doesn't just start with, oh, Marxism, Leninism, obviously. Can it? All right, well. Ron Paul? What, if you're not sure? Okay. But if there's a specific image that I like. So for example, these guys would be more like distributists, if you really want to call it. I don't consider them, they're not like Castro or agrarianism or orthodox Marxism, right? And they're definitely not hive mind collectivism either. So, yeah. Now, I'm not going to rank the other factions just for the fact that, like, a lot of these factions just don't need to be ranked, in my opinion. So, yeah, this is basically, and so we have, what's it called? Plotted all of the political ideologies of the Fallout franchise for the most part, or at least most of them. Now, if I'm wrong about some of these, obviously leave a shout in the comments. Obviously, flame the fuck out of me, and also, thank you for all the love and support on the 2 Charlie Kirk videos. All right, that's the last time I'm gonna fucking utter that bitch ass nigga's name in my mouth for a while. But, hey, I'll chill out for now. Okay, I'll chill out. But hey, on stream and stuff, I didn't stream today. My bad. I'm sorry I didn't stream yesterday or today. My friends were, let's just say, they decided to have smooth brains, and so one of my friends wanted to act like a diva tonight. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one though. All right, peace and love.